Welcome to Inside Scoop Live, the podcast where indie authors get personal, sharing insights about their books, their writing journeys, and their passions. I'm your host, Sherry Hoyt, and I invite you to join me for engaging conversations with both debut indie authors and seasoned veterans. Whether you're looking for your next great read or a bit of inspiration, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Don Trudeau joins the show today to talk about his latest book, Unforgiving Thresholds. It's the 5th volume in the Shaman Speak series. The book reflects on the limits humanity has placed on nature and energy, and what it means when those thresholds can no longer hold. Before we get started, here's the inside scoop on the author. Taught observance as a child and practiced until becoming an elder, Don Trudeau has for 72 years witnessed the changes on wildlife, climate, economy, health, weather, catastrophic land events, and conveniences which changed our interaction with the planet. Today, he sees that we are on the very brink of disaster, and he has come to understand that threshold has two meanings. One is to begin, the other to end. He is a shaman in the First Nation depiction and has been on the cusp of change since 6 years old until now, age 78. Some of what he has witnessed is described to give warning, as is one of his shaman duties to bring awareness of what approaches. And you can learn more about Don Trudeau and his work at dontrudeau.ca. Well, hi, Don. Welcome to Inside Scoop Live.
Good morning.
I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to talk to you about your book, Unforgiving Thresholds. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it and what your inspiration was behind it?
My inspiration actually started a long time ago when the carbon credits first came out, when some company was going past the carbon cutback that they wanted, so they had carbon credits, and another company was failing to meet the credits, so they bought the carbon credits from the other company, but the smoke still went in the air. So that started me a long time ago. And more recently, there was two things that bothered me. The powers to be in working with the salmon, they just wanted to go out and to slaughter the beaver. That was in a false misconception that the beaver were stopping the salmon from reaching their spawning grounds, or the reds, they called. And the salmon can jump over any barrier that is within reason, like a 20, 30-foot barrier. No, they can't jump over, but a 6-foot barrier, they can jump it with ease.
Wow.
As well as this threshold to destroy the keeper of countless streams, subjecting the waterway health, the beaver maintains that as well. I looked at all the other thresholds contained within the book, and that these thresholds are coming together as one huge threshold which will have extended circumstances for mankind. Not so good for us. Hardships galore will be our just reward for not caring for being on one with the land and all life. So that's what inspired me.
Okay. Wow. Now, your title, Unforgiving Thresholds, is very powerful. What does that phrase mean to you in particular? Like, how did you come up with it? It's natural and spiritual. And how does it connect with the idea that balance is essential to life?
Okay, unforgiving means that once it is gone, there is no going back to what was. We have advanced too quickly in our own evolution to adapt to the changes forced upon us. For instance, everything we acquire is garbage, from the packaging to the unit, becoming obsolete to make way for the new piece of advanced item that is necessary to keep the economy rolling. We are mass producing eventual useless items. And for more clarity, my toaster, once it goes, I got to buy another one. Once it goes, I got to buy another one. Once it goes, I got to buy another one. So in order to keep the economy going, they keep making a better one that I have to have. And then I throw the other one away, which is accumulated garbage. And
Just sits in the landfill.
this is making an impact on the physical world of life, separating that life from sharing its energy. In the First Nation way, we have 4 guiding principles. That balance means to treat the land and environment that our relations will have what we have for 7 generations to come,
Mm,
250 years into the future.
mm.
That is balance. We make very little impact on our interaction with all life. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. I think you're
Okay.
going to probably asking me some questions that will make more clarity on that energy.
Okay. So, I guess before we get into that, what do you see as the most serious consequence in today's world as far as humanity's, disregard for that balance?
That what I foresee will not be appreciated or accepted by the majority of the people. We have climbed into astounding numbers and have stepped outside of balance. In doing so, we have called on our own demise into the corrections coming. We few will be sent back into practices where we will survive by our own efforts. We are a threshold, and we will collapse along with the other thresholds. I am but one voice bringing forth this message. Will be ridiculed for it. Many will say maybe what you say will come to pass someday, but not in
Mm.
my lifetime. Well, in whose lifetime? Some will listen and act accordingly. It is a powerful message, and I choose to deliver it in this book.
Yeah, it is a powerful message. You talked a little bit about the salmon and the beaver just a minute ago. Why did you choose this particular relationship to open up the conversation?
I have 2 reasons for this opening. First, I am currently witness to governing bodies wanting to euthanize the beavers through their ignorance of what is causing the decline of the salmon stocks.
Mm,
To kill the beaver is to kill the stream. The nursery kept healthy by the beaver governing bodies should be GPSing the stream beds and keeping these current flows healthy by making it a hold. A wrong decision by beavers to establish a pond there. A pond. You take away the beaver's food, he's not going to stay there. He's going to go look at another place and then thereby saving those reds. The second reason was to capture the reader's interest within the 20-second timeline in which to accomplish this feat.
mm,
It is mentioned in the last chapter of prologue and in the starting sentence of traditional knowledge wildlife. I made mention that I only have 20 seconds to capture their attention. I make mention here that it is not only the salmon in despair, but also many other species of fish. Your food, the people, the public, your food.
yeah. Every species has a purpose, and you take away that species, that affects everything in one way or another.
Yep.
Yeah. What have you observed about the way the physical and spiritual realms interact when those thresholds are crossed?
What I have observed is the out of sync of all things in the past while. When I see animal life disappear in mass, not just one species, but many, and these were the feeder animals rabbit, squirrel, mice, ground squirrel, gopher. The decline of these severely impacted the carnivores, is that this is their food source. And once the feeder animals were gone, then the carnivores suffered really bad. This occurrence happened also in the insect world, the aquatic world, and in the birds. Results from this mass occurrence impacted the air we breathe. Minimal change, but enough for the observants to notice.
Mhm.
The signs are all over. Fish washing up on shore, multiple casualties, birds dropping out of the air. All life, animate and inanimate, no longer exists as one, but is now separating, not sharing its energy.
Mm. Now, energy is at the heart of your spiritual reflections. What is it you want readers to understand about its role in guiding us as a species?
This is what I anticipated you'd be asking about energy, and this is a big one. This is a really
Mm,
big one.
okay.
I'm going to make an example here, kind of a little story. When you buy an automobile, you put gas in it, and once you turn on that engine, you drive the gas, eventually it all goes out and the car stops. It can't move. And we're the same. We eat food to have energy.
Mhm,
We have our breakfast and we're able to move our arms, walk, whatever energy we expend. But before we run out of gas, so to speak, we eat again. So there was a little bit left, and that little bit is soon joined by the lunchtime we eat, and we expend energy there. And before we run out, we have supper. So we got two little bits. And then supper, we got a little bit there. Day after day after day after day, we have put this little bit of energy into a storage like a balloon. And to blow up the balloon, eventually it would blow up. But our immunity system takes over and it expends that extra energy. Our body will not allow that to blow up. So when we have too much, our body immune system takes over and it leaks out energy, kind of like perspiring when you overheat, the same as sweat, but you can't see it. But this energy all leaks out. And all life eats to live, all life. Doesn't matter if it's a blade of grass or a mosquito or a moose or a fish or a whale, bird, anything. All life eats to live, and all life has that energy storage capacity. And their balloon will not burst. The immune system takes over. So all this energy leaks out into the world atmosphere, if you will, and it just roils around the earth. And we interact with that energy. And in the First Nations way, we call all life all my relations. And that is because we are related to everything through that energy. Reiki masters use that energy for healing purposes. And so do the First Nation healers and medicine people. They use that energy. So if we are mingling our energy we should open our eyes to completing our role and being supposedly a part of this energy source. But when we're not, we're becoming confused and self-centered, and therefore we're making all the mistakes where we are causing all these thresholds around the world.
Okay. So basically, we're all one energy, and when we act outside that, we're damaging that.
We are big time.
Yeah. 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 Let's talk a little bit about personal and health topics in your book. Obesity, you have obesity and inactivity, and it appears in your reflections called, I hope I get this right, participation?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Why is it important to connect health and lifestyle choices with the larger theme of thresholds?
My book speaks to the Industrial Revolution. It became important for us to have money and things. These things, washing machines, dryers, vehicles, cook stove, fridge, made it convenient to live without exertion, changing our makeup and evolution happening at a rapid pace, health issues becoming rampant. The expelled energy, when healthy, vibrant, contribute to the one, all energy. Inactivity expels energy also, but unused, like a pollutant. It is like sweat, not as pure as the exerted energy. Obese and inactivity will develop a sick, weak body unable to meet the rigors of hard times when self-sufficiency is the key to survival. Post-threshold collapses. So we're not as fit as our forefathers.
Right.
And the ones that we are sending into the future are not as fit as us.
Right. Unfortunately.
All these
Yeah.
conveniences are making us lazy.
Soft. Yeah. Now, you write about self abuse and you share from personal experience. What ways did those experiences kind of shape your perspective on addiction and its consequences?
But when I took a deep look at substances were priming my adverse interactions with others, introduced me to shame. And that's when I was 28 years old, so 50 years ago.
Mm.
Refraining from substances further opened my eyes to all life around me without regard. I have made the soul journey into the silence to where I could hear the voices of the environments, the animate and the inanimate.
Mm.
Throughout this transformation, I was privy to the wisdoms of the elders. They sent me further into my observations that abuses of any kind were not in the best interest in self or other life. So I've been on this study for 50 years and more so dedicated to it in the last 34 years.
Wow. That's amazing. You also have a section on the environmental and national world, and actually, it's all about the environment and the natural world. But the section on deforestation is really rich with ecological detail. What do you hope readers understand differently about forests after reading your perspective?
When going deeper into the concept introduced in this book, it is my hope that readers will unite and look into a new ways to coexist with all life, in that the image may appear that we are all related and learning to live in harmony with nature will improve our life. The riches and gadgets cannot give us fulfillment. We will
Mm,
learn that monetary gain of the few will not benefit the whole. It is time we support the activists striving to save the resources. All the chapters complement each other. They are a small mention of the total which could be written about. In the review mentioned was made of only so many pages each chapter, had I expanded on, would be a book in itself.
mm, yeah, I'm sure.
It is my hope that my taking the time to visit regularly with nature, to go into the silence and hear the voices of life, that I could impart these interactions upon the many that the resources of the wild are suffering, and in that for monetary gain we will be brought to suffer too. It is my
Hmm.
thought that one voice can make a difference by inspiring others' thoughts to strengthen, and through mutual expressions to change our interaction with the rest of life, to take away pollution and give back health. When I look at the recent blood moon, it bears witness to tragedy, means that then and now a precursor to tragedy. Supermoons, why now and not then? When I say not then, when I was a kid, it was just a white moon, steady. It was not a big moon or a super moon. But nowadays, everything is changing. I think government is keeping something from us about these moons, and they're making them erotic, like a blood
Oh,
moon, a corn moon, and it's something that they want to distract us from of what is really happening.
yeah, that's interesting. Wow.
I follow apps too, as well as going out in nature.
Hmm.
I just read about 100 billion in resource extraction, and it's take, use it, and waste it, and then take, use it, and waste it. It's a continuous circle that
Yeah.
is never joining into a complete circle. It's all take, waste, take, use, waste, take, use, waste. When I say that, it's we're taking the resources, the minerals of the forest, the fish, and we use it and we discard. And when I say discard, I personally own 4 hammers. I only have 2 hands, so I have to discard, throw 2 away. And same with toolboxes. I've got about 7 sets of tools, and they keep telling me I need new one. I need now a red one because the blue one is expiring, So that's take, use, waste. And that's all just to keep the economy rolling. I understand that the economy
Yeah.
needs to keep people, but at what point do we say enough? At what point is that when the final one of us is taking our last gasp? That's where my thinking. As a First Nation person, I've followed many circles in my culture, and with respect and dignity. The following of the circle of continuation, take, use, waste over and over again, is the birth of many thresholds. I do not know the answer to this dilemma, but when I stand now and after the collapse, I will revert to sustainable existence to assist others to know how to succeed and how to survive.
Mm.
My wife and I, we have vast knowledge of the outdoors and how to survive in that outdoors, and we are getting up in age, but we will be looking to assist all those that will come through the calamity and won't know how to survive, but we will teach them those things.
Mm. Hmm.
And that's kind of the reason why I put that book out there.
Okay. Do you feel like natural events, we've got climate change and fires and floods and earthquakes and all of these kind of feel like the earth is like striking back at us, you know? Do you feel like the environment is actively responding to human behavior?
When I look at the sky, I look at the cloud and I see signs. I tell my wife there's going to be an earthquake within 2 days, and there always is.
Oh, wow.
I looked at the sky yesterday and I see an earthquake within today or tomorrow. And I'm thinking that it's going to be in that rift in Africa that's opening up. Unfortunately, when I see these, I can't see exact when or exact where. I just know that it's going to happen. So when I speak about all my relations with all life, the earth is part of that. And the earth is kind of like an animal when it comes out of the water, it shakes and gets that water off. The earth is going to shake and get the water off, and the water is us.
Do you ever wish you were wrong about these things? Yeah.
I haven't been wrong yet.
Oh my goodness.
Back, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, I don't know how old you are, but Waco, Texas, there was a big problem between government and a group of people down there.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 90 people perished
Yeah.
that was there. So before that happened, about 5 days before, I said to my wife, there's something big coming. There's something big. So in going into nature and being in balance with everything, somehow I've been given the opportunity to foresee events and to foresee unnatural things coming. And I don't know why I was gifted with this. Maybe I feel like I was chosen to be on this path, to write this book, to be there for the people, all these different things to make life easier. Like I say, I dedicated my life for the last 34 years to this purpose. And I don't know, it's a big load to carry, but I feel my shoulders are wide enough.
Mm.
And like I say, I could have made that book 1,000 pages of different thresholds that are coming, but had to get it out there. And I don't know, it just seems like opportunities are come along like this. You put it in your newsletter, you make me author of the week, you make this interview happen. Ben is working really hard and things are happening, making this book progress along. So I think that's all part of Creator and preparing us for what's coming. And I want to tell you that on September 16th, that is going to be the start of something big.
September
Just so in a
16th.
few days away.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How did it feel writing all this down and getting it out in the world?
I wrote a number of books going back to the early 2000s. I wrote
Okay.
5 books, and I found that I was ignoring my wife, so to say, not spending time with her. So I put the books down. And then this past spring, I picked up the writing again, and this book that I wrote that in 10 days, freehand.
Oh, wow.
My sister typed it out on paper for me or on the computer. I'm not technology. I don't know much about cell phones and computers and things
Yeah.
like that. So I need a lot of help from people
Yeah.
that understand. But
You're doing a podcast. Look at you.
yeah, actually, all my close people, friends, relations, they're all amazed at how fast everything is going along here, how
Yeah.
fast I wrote that book. And I didn't only write that one, I finished another one that I had started way back when I was ignoring my wife. I had finished only half a book. That one is called The Strength Within, How to Deal with Grief and Whatnot.
Oh,
And
wow.
then when I sent this one away to Telwell, then I started another one. It's a 400 pager, and it's
Oh,
called
wow.
Whispers of Traditional Knowledge. That's what I talk about, how to survive out there. And this I'm leaving behind for the people if it makes it that far.
Okay. Okay. How does
Yeah.
your wife feel now that you're picking up writing again?
You're still at that, and then I finally laid down, and good. We spend time again together. My wife
The
and I have a extraordinary experience with each other. We have never argued, we've never fought, we've never threatened, we've never anything negative since 1992.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. Yeah. So we kind of need to wrap things up here. I guess I wanted to ask you, you talked a little bit about your next book. So that's maybe coming soon, maybe not. We'll kind of see what happens. I guess for readers who want to respond to your book, your warnings, and take action, what are some simple steps that individuals can take away from your book to implement into their own lives to help restore balance?
Well, they can take a look at polluting practices. They can take a look at how their pantry is. My pantry is full of dry goods. I have enough dry goods to keep 90 people alive for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And And that's to when we get on putting our muscles back to work and planting a garden and building this and building that for survival purposes. So, a needle and thread is going to be important. A fishing net is going to be important. An axe is going to be important. Anything that's not gas driven is going to be important. A shovel. All these different things. Like my wife and I we put away about probably $100,000 worth of items to help people survive in the future.
Kind of back to basics kind of preparation. Yeah.
We've been at it for a while.
Wow. Well, Don, is there anything else you wanted to add for our listeners today?
Only that you asked about these books, and we're not rich people. So I'm looking for return on this book to finance the release of other books.
Right.
And I've got 3 manuscripts waiting right now to go out and be published. And I'm looking at 4 of the other books that I've written to be republished.
Oh,
But
wow. Okay.
like I say, I'm not a rich man, and
You're going to be busy.
everything takes coin.
Everything does. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Don, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit about yourself and your work. And thank you for all you do.
It's my hope that it will go out there and the people will get it. And thank you for being part of that journey to make it happen.
Thank you so much for joining me today for my interview with Don Trudeau, author of Unforgiving Thresholds. You can learn more about Don Trudeau and his work at dontrudeau.ca. And be sure to check out our other interviews at InsideScoopLive.com.